I have a very intimate relationship with hydration.
Don't look at me!
I have fainted several times in my life from dehydration, and I've done many things to address it, to try to get to the bottom of the issue. Most notably, I fainted during Thanksgiving, really scared my family, and I vowed after that, I need to get to the bottom of my hydration problem. And in that process, I completely quit alcohol, full stop, and also fasted from caffeine for an entire year. I basically eliminated all diuretics from my diet in order to figure out the hydration stuff. So I know a lot about hydration drinks and how they can help you. And just flat out, most hydration drinks on the market and most of the most popular ones are absolute useless dog water. It's just terrible. This is not an attack on any of these companies. Just simply you are buying garbage that is not going to help you in your hydration goals. Some of them to more or less degree, but we'll get into all of them and I'll tell you guys the hydration drink that I drink that helped me really fix my hydration problems and actually is backed by science. Before we talk about each drink specifically, it's important that you properly understand what electrolytes you need in your body. So specifically, we're going to be talking about 2 electrolytes. There are more than these, but I want to just talk about these 2 for the sake of keeping this video as simple as possible, and that is sodium and potassium. Sodium has a very bad rap. It is kind of like the boogeyman because it actually is bad for heart disease. So if you're someone who has chronic heart illness, if you're a 50-year-old man and you have, atherosclerosis, I said that wrong, but if you have heart disease or you're at serious risk of a cardiovascular event, those are really the only people in the world who need to worry about their sodium intake. The vast majority of people, especially young athletic people, the people who mostly drink hydration drinks, sodium is great. If you don't have enough sodium in your body, it's the primary reason why you feel tired or have headaches, except for sleep. Those are the 2 reasons why you might feel tired and lethargic: lack of sleep or lack of sodium. And a lot of people just don't understand that. And sodium is just the boogeyman because the American Heart Association makes it sound like that. Electrolytes simply tell your body where to store the water. So if you don't have electrolytes and you're just drinking water, that's the reason why things will just run right through you and you're just peeing like crazy and you still feel tired despite drinking a lot of water. If you don't have salt and potassium in your body, your body does not know where to put the water. It's also the same reason why people can die of overhydration or drinking too much water, because again, your body doesn't know where to put the water. It goes through your body. It can't be processed through your kidneys quick enough. And so it has to just put it in all of your organs and muscles, which all of your organs and muscles can expand when filled with water. But there's one vital organ that cannot expand because there's a big dome around it. And that's the reason why people die if they drink water too fast. For their kidneys to process it, as well as not getting enough electrolytes with their water. Now, the final thing that you need to understand about electrolytes, and specifically sodium and potassium, is how quickly they leave your body. And a quick Google search will tell you that the average person's sweat contains only 150 milligrams of potassium per liter, give or take. There is some variance between humans, but also sodium can account for 2,000 milligrams or 2 grams per liter. So what you need to understand about that is sodium needs to be replaced at a much faster rate than potassium. Now that you understand how important sodium and potassium can be to have in your body and the rate at which they leave, you can now have an idea of how much you need if you're exercising. You're going to need a lot more sodium than you need potassium. Potassium's super important, but you do need quite a bit of sodium, especially if you're an endurance athlete or you're doing long sessions in the gym. You need to replace that salt to keep your energy levels up, keep you from getting dehydrated, and keep you from feeling lethargic. First up, let's look at Prime. Let's look at the nutrition label. As you can see, they have 700 milligrams of potassium. That's a lot of potassium. There's not really a downside to having more potassium. Cool, great. But look at their sodium content. It's 10 milligrams. It's 10 milligrams. What are they doing? What are they doing? So what Prime has done is they made a perfect hydration drink for a 50-year-old man with heart disease. But they market this drink to teenagers and young adults and young athletes. This is absolute dog water if your goal is to stay hydrated while doing endurance sports. And it's always so silly to me because KSI and Logan Paul both compete in endurance sports like MMA, boxing, that sort of thing. So they would need a large amount of sodium in order to fuel their body. So I'm not accusing them of anything, but the only reason why I consider they can figure out why their electrolyte variation would be like this is to just sell more drinks because, salt tastes bad. But if you want to be hydrated, get over it, bitch. You got to drink salt. Next up is the most popular hydration drink, which is a Gatorade. Now, they actually do a little bit better on the electrolyte profile here. As you can see, we have quite a bit of sodium, 250 milligrams, still very underdosed in sodium, and then pretty underdosed in potassium as well. So honestly not very good. And then they also have 35 grams of sugar on this specific drink. There is variation between each Gatorade, and they do make a G2 where they don't put sugar in there as well. So that's important to note, throw them a bone out there. But as you can see, the electrolyte profile is pretty garbage. It's not great for a hydration drink. It's going to be better than water for rehydrating you, but with the obvious downside of all the sugar you're drinking. There are so many people out there who just slam Gatorades, who have like jobs where they work out in the sun, and they develop type 2 diabetes because they just are slamming sugar all day, which they don't need. The only people who need a lot of sugar in hydration drinks are high level endurance athletes, people who are going on like 2 to 3 hour cycling events and that sort of thing. If you're training for long hours or long time in the gym and you have issues with low blood sugar, that is the only type of people who would need to have sugar in their hydration drink. But there's a better drink for that anyways. Now on to Liquid IV. This is the one that's really marketed as like people think is like the real healthy hydration drink. And Liquid IV is pretty solid. I've been using Liquid IV for about a year now when I was addressing my hydration issues. It was the main one I had for a while, but I've since upgraded to a better one, which we'll talk about next. But let's quickly look at the electrolyte profile here. So as you can see, 510 milligrams in this particular box. I have a box downstairs that actually has 600 milligrams. So as you can see, pretty good sodium. And then we look at the potassium. The potassium is 380 milligrams. Pretty good on the potassium as well. Slightly overdosed on that. But again, there's nothing wrong with having extra electrolytes, really. As long as you are being athletic and that sort of thing, you are not going to have an issue with having too much potassium. So as we can see, pretty solid here. The one thing I don't like about Liquid IV, and the reason why I stopped using them, is I do think it's slightly underdosed in sodium for my needs personally, because I do sweat quite a bit. I'm outside working out all the time. And it has sugar in it, which I just don't really want in my diet. I don't want any added sugars in my diet. The only sugar I have for my diet is from fruits and honey. So I think Liquid IV is actually a pretty solid choice for a hydration drink and can be very good, especially for endurance athletes who do need some sugar into their diet while they're exercising. I think Liquid IV can actually be a great option and is pretty solid overall. Now we're on to what I think is the best hydration drink, full stop. It's not even close. And that is a LMNT. And this is the one that I currently drink. And that is, you see, as it has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, which is effective for replacing, as we read before, if you're losing a liter of sodium and exercise, which you probably aren't, but you might lose half a liter or up to that if you're going to exercise a lot more. Actually has adequate sodium replacement and 200 milligrams of potassium, which is also adequate for replacing that liter of water that you're missing if you do sweat that much during your exercise. So yeah, LMNT's the bomb. It doesn't have any sugar. It has 10 calories, or it has 5 calories. This box has 5 calories because it is the mango habanero. Is it mango chili? I thought it was mango habanero for a second, but mango chili. But a couple of the other boxes, they have 10 calories. So it's the lowest calories and has the best electrolyte profile. And a lot of people just don't know about this drink. I'm not sponsored by LMNT or anything like that, but since I started drinking LMNT, I actually drink 3 to 4 of these a day. But again, I'm exercising quite a bit and I have issues with just regulating my hydration anyways. I don't know why. I don't have health insurance, so I can't go see a doctor to see if there's some pharmacological or like real medical reason why. Because again, yeah, I don't have health insurance, but this is the bomb. And I highly recommend this one. I'm going to leave links below for LMNT and Liquid IV, because those are the only ones that I can wholeheartely recommend and can feel good about recommending as a hydration drink. But I just wanted to make this video just because I think a lot of people just don't know how to hydrate themselves, and they think sodium is the boogeyman. It is not. If you have heart disease, then you should worry about sodium. Or if you have a serious risk of cardiovascular event, then you should worry about sodium. But everybody else, if you're a young, healthy athlete, you need to have more sodium. It's probably the reason why you have headaches and tired all the time. It's because you don't eat enough sodium, because sodium is made out to be the biggest boogeyman in the world, and it is just not. But anyways, guys, I'll leave my links down below. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you do buy through those links, I will get paid. If you're going to buy LMNT in bulk, I really need to say this. If you're going to buy LMNT in bulk, it is much cheaper on LMNT's website. But if you're just going to buy one box, or if you're just going to buy a sample pack, then it's pretty much the same price on Amazon. So please use my link if you're going to do that. But if you want to buy in bulk, just go to LMNT. It's much cheaper. You don't have to use my link. I don't have to get paid. I just wanted to make this video to, everybody is chronically underhydrated, and it's because these sports drinks just market it for flavor and for, I don't know. There's no way that these people don't know that that their electrolyte profile is garbage. So the only thing I can think of is they're just trying to sell more drinks. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Have a good one.